A controversial education bill that passed the Mississippi House is drawing concern from public school leaders. Some fear it could take critical resources away from programs that are helping students prepare for real-world careers. Parker Boyd shows us how Hancock County educators are reacting to House Bill 2.
Students at the Hancock County Career Technical Center learn to operate unmanned aerial systems, gaining world skills that could help them launch their careers.
They can fly drones and be able to receive their pilot's license. All those things are available.
Hancock County School Superintendent Rhett Ladner says leading students to a successful future is his first priority. He and his teachers are worried that Mississippi House Bill 2, which would let state funding follow students to private or charter schools, could take critical resources away from public schools like those in Hancock County.
We take that as a slap in the face. During COVID, our educators came to work. I had 4 friends that passed away that were teachers from COVID because we cared about kids. We went to work.
The Mississippi Education Freedom Act passed the state house on a narrow 61-59 vote on January 15th. Ladner says he supports giving families options, but he thinks the bill overlooks progress school districts across the state have made.
We are empowering our children. When I first started in Mississippi, we were 50th in the nation, and now we're sitting at number 14 in the nation.
Public schools definitely have opportunities to provide.
The Career Tech Center gives students in Hancock County learning experiences beyond the classroom. Jennifer Phillip teaches hydrography here. She fears that House Bill 2 could shift funding away from this program.
The students in this program are exposed to careers in hydrography. We work closely with NAVO and NOAA.
Other opportunities include welding and precision machining. Lachey Wilson is a health science teacher who says she prepares students for the future, whether it's college or professional world.
We do a lot of training so when they get to the hospital, my students will be CPR and first aid certified.
Those are things that we're able to deliver to every child.
Ladner says the bill's fate will affect the hearts of teachers who work with a passion.
They see it as an attack because they are emotionally tied. You know, people talk about, well, business, this is a business. It's not. It's more than a business for them. It's a mission.
Teachers like Jennifer Phillip hope state senators understand that mission. In Hancock County, Parker Boyd, WLOX News Now.
That bill is headed to the state Senate. If it passes, it would go to the governor's desk to be signed into law. The